if I go to a restaurant and they have an automatic gratuity, they're assuring one thing: I will never be back. I don't care how good the food is, dude. You ain't telling me how much money I'm tipping.
Automatic. I mean, certain parts of it I sort of understand. When you have like a party of 8 or 10 or 12, because they can't do any other tables, they have to do yours. And
hey, that's part of the job, though. I got no sympathy for that. You know what I'm saying? Do your job well, you get a good tip. Because I can't tell you these days, it's hard to find somebody that's going to do their job well at a. Well, we just had that happen to us the other day.
It went from 10 or 12, and then recently it went to not recently, but. Once I became an adult, 22, 25 years old, I started noticing that that it was 8 people. Now it's 6. Everywhere you go, it's 6. They keep lowering the number.
Right.
Where were we when we got that? It was Cheeseburger in Paradise. Even though the restaurant was good, the food was good, but the dude was like, I don't know, he was trying to play with us to try to make us happy.
And let me give a shout out to Cheeseburger in Paradise. Tell your waiter never to touch a person's face when he's serving him, because that dude touched one of our people's face, thought he was funny.
Yeah, he pulled the old classic joke. What's on your shirt? When you look down, you move up to the nose. Right. Don't do that as a waiter.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's a good way to get your face smashed in, which is what I was very close to doing to the Jack. He didn't do it to me, but he did it to one of our guests, and completely inappropriate.
Completely.
We're not friends. I don't know you. You're my server. I will give you a good tip until you touch my face. Then I'll give you a different kind of tip. So let's go back to this tip thing, because it still got me burning. How pretentious, I'm thinking, how pretentious does this restaurant manager or this restaurant chain have to be? Because they're automatically assuming they hired this fantastic waiter that is so good that he automatically deserves a tip. And the last time I actually had this happen to me, where they had the gratuity added on, it was during a bachelor party. And let me tell you something. I won't mention the restaurant out there in Milford, but if you're listening, you know exactly who you are, because we actually called a day ahead of time to confirm what we had going on, which is about 8 people showing up at a certain time. They said no problem. We showed up. We stood there for 2 hours, waited for land the plane, baby. We stood there for 2 hours waiting for a table. Finally got the table after I complained about 6 times and got to the point where I was pretty obnoxious. Then the waiter completely sucked. And long story short, they added the gratuity onto the bill, and I couldn't even believe it. Fortunately, they knocked about half the food off because they got our food wrong, brought it out cold. And let me tell you, if you can find a restaurant that you get good service at a regular basis, give us a call when they were on, because I'd like to go there, because rarely do I go to a restaurant more than 2 or 3 times where I don't have a bad
and
situation.
you get a bad service
and bad food or the wrong order. I had that tonight, as a matter of fact. That's horrible food, and I won't mention the restaurant rallies.
Okay.